Hello YouTube and welcome to my King of Games video for November 2019. This month I achieved King of Games with Vendreads. It was a lot of fun to play. So this is the list. I run two of each of, this is based on a ritual deck. This is a ritual based deck. I run two of each of the ritual monsters, so the best ritual monsters to run. I run two Sonic Bird to search out for ritual spells. I run one Revenants, one Hound Horde, one Anima, three of each of the ritual spells, and three Vendread Knights. So this deck, going first to second, it's got, well, let's see, we've got 8 ways of getting a ritual spell going first, and 9 ways of getting a ritual monster because of what Vendreads Knights does. Now I've made a free-to-play Vendreads list, so this will be covering a lot of common ground if you saw that video as well, but some of these have floating effects when they go to the graveyard. This one is, you can add a ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send one Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard, and that's its recursion. This recursion is only when it gets destroyed by battle. You can add a Vendread card from your deck to your hand. And this one has a similar, if it gets sent to the grave, I believe. If this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send one Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard. So between the three of them, this has the best, because you can pull a ritual spell into your hand. This one can also do that, but it needs to be destroyed by battle. It can't just be sent to the grave. And this one pulls a monster and sends a monster. So those are sort of the recoveries. The individual effects is this can banish a Vendread card from your graveyard to shut off monster, spell, or trap effects for the rest of the turn. Now they can chain to this, but it does force out some plays. You can shut off monster effects and safely attack in the face down monsters. You can shut off traps and get around battle traps, things like that. And sometimes you can't really rely on it, but sometimes they don't realize what's happening when you activate this Battle Lord's effect, so you can get away with some cheeky stuff when they should chain to it. Now this one, once it just goes into battle with a monster, you can banish a zombie monster, gain 300 attack. It rarely comes up as being useful, but against Neos, again, because reading cards is difficult, the Neos at 2600 will attack into this and think they can kill it. Then you really want to use that effect to go up to 27 and force out the Neos fusion early. And this one is just other. While this ritual summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot target cards you control with card effects. So this protects everything. It protects your other monsters. It protects your ritual cage, because we're running Master of Rites 2. It protects Vendread Knights, and by card effects, pretty much Cosmic Cyclone. If this hits the field, and you're getting constant delays, this hits the field, they can't Cosmic anymore. And sometimes, again, they don't see it coming until it's too late. It hits the field, they can't Cosmic, you're Gucci. So Sonic Bird's pretty standard, you just search a ritual spell, it gives you more consistency with these, and you can pick out which one you want. So now let's move on to these two. When these are summoned on the field and then used as material for ritual summon, they get these effects off, basically. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target a special summon monster your opponent controls and banish it. Now it does target, but that's once per turn during either player's turn because it's a quick effect. So that's incredible, and this does the same thing but for spell and traps. So pretty strong. It does take up your normal summon if you want to get that effect off most of the time. The other effects are this special summons itself from the grave once it gets to show by battle or card effect if it's on the field. And this can be special summoned from the grave by discarding a card. A Vendread monster specifically. Oh no, just a Vendread card. It doesn't have to be a monster, but you have to. It can't just be anything. You can't discard the Sonic Bird to summon it. And next is Anima. It does have the, if it's used as a ritual summon, effect of banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. It's placing that effect on the monster that you ritual summoned. I rarely use Anima on a normal summon to get that effect off. That's not really what it's used for. What it's used for is, it's in combination with Origin, which we'll get to in a second. You can banish this from the grave to target a banished Vendread monster and special summon it to the field. Now that works with Origin because this card can be used as ritual summon, blah blah blah. Must also tribute monsters from your hand or field, and or banish zombie monsters from your graveyard whose levels equal or exceed. So this ritual spell is an equal or exceed, so it's much more flexible, and you can use monsters on your field, on your hand, or on your graveyard. But if you use the graveyard, it gets banished. That plays into a combo you want to banish from the graveyard, but just pretty much because it works with Anima. And then you can special summon that banished zombie monster on the field, which, if you get the most optimum combo, will actually just be a properly summoned ritual monster, so you can flood the field very quickly. And the other benefit of this card is if Vendreads Slayers you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, banish this card from your graveyard instead. So it's like a Neos Fusion, but only for Vendreads Slayers. Now what I forgot to mention was, this is a Slayer, but this card's name becomes Vendread Slayer while on the field. The only thing that wouldn't be protected is the Battle Lord. Next is Evolution. This one is exact. You must tribute monsters from your hand or field, and or send one Vendread monster from your deck to your graveyard whose total levels equal the level of the ritual monster you want to ritual summon. So it's got to be exact, but you can use things on the field, in your hand, or the deck. Basically you've got to, you can just send one card from the deck. So the reason why we won 2 of each is we can send itself to summon itself with Evolution, if you know what I mean. But say we want to use the hand and the deck, well, for a 7 we have like a 4 in hand, we can send a 3 from the deck, or we have a 3 in hand, we can send a 4 from the deck. That's kind of what I mean. Or we want to run this, we can send a 6 and a 1, 8, 7 and 1. So that's kind of how that works. And then during the end phase of the next turn, so you summon this on your turn, during your opponent's end phase, this gets destroyed. Now, that kind of sucks, but it does, because it's a bit more flexible, and you kind of want some of the monsters to get destroyed to sort of combo off. For example, Slayer, even though it does get destroyed, it sets up the grave, it properly ritual summons it, so that when you then use it with, say, an Origin, you banish this from the grave since it's been ritual summoned with the Evolution, and then you like summon an Executor, and then you use the Anima that you have in the grave to bring it back. I'm hoping I can show off some gameplay that explains this a lot better. Vendread Knights is just discard one card, doesn't have to be a Vendread, and you can add a Vendread monster from your deck to your hand. So this is where you can discard, set up the grave a little bit with monsters you want in there, and search out perhaps whatever ritual monster you want, or if you've already got that, you can search out your ritual summon material that you want to normal summon. It adds a lot of consistency to the deck. And Master of Rites too, in case you don't know what that does. You begin the duel with Ritual Cage. You take no battle damage from attacks involving a ritual monster you control, and ritual monsters you control cannot be targeted by or destroyed by monster effects. So this is a little bit relevant in this meta because Blackwings, it provides an extra layer of protection because they can't straight away target your ritual monster. They have to, with their, Raikiri, they have to target this first. If they are seriously popping off, it's not really going to matter because then they follow up with another one. But in some situations, it could stop an OTK, which is kind of what they're all about. So I think I'm going to do this live. Hopefully I can show off some wins for you. Going second is ideal, and we are going second. We are going second versus a Maximilian Pegasus. Okay, this hand is quite nice, actually. Well now, what have you got for me, Pegasus? He summons a Ukabak. Okay, this is Dark Lords. I'm kind of okay with that. So if he removes the Ritual Cage, it'll be a problem. But if it stays on the field, we're protected from Desire. And if we're protected from Desire, all we really need to do is get out a big 3k beta, which we have in Executor. He's not running Target Binds, he's not running Beatdown, because he can't. So it'll be very difficult if we get out an Executor for him to get over it. And we top a Evolution. So we can kind of pop off here. We can kind of pop off. Alright. Now, I imagine that's a negate. How do I want to do this, actually? Do I want to get out that early? Summon? Perhaps I do, actually. No, I can only activate one evolution per turn. That's another thing. This can be used as many times as you want per turn. This can only be activated once per turn. So, that's a bit unfortunate. But we'll do this anyway. He'll probably whoa. Oh, come on. Come on. That obviously doesn't count. We had some plays there because what you want is to have a Slayer, an Origin, and an Evolution. And then you can just pop off and there's a chance you can OTK with that. We had that, but we're thinking a bit too long for our opponent to handle. So because that was so quick, we'll try and get in some extra games. What I was thinking about was summon the Battle Lord first with the Evolution, and then use that to sort of negate traps or negate monster effects, and then sort of go from there. Because sometimes you can really bait it out. You can just summon the Battle Lord. If they know what it does, you can force out some of their back rows, force out the negate, and then just keep comboing off. That's kind of what my plan was. So worst case scenario, this is Gravekeepers. Gravekeepers hurt this deck so much. So much. That said, we do have an okay hand. Because going first, all you really want is Evolution and Slayer. It's going to float. It's guaranteed to get destroyed by your next turn. And then it's going to get its floating effect, and then we're going to have plenty of graveyard setup and cards in hand to combo with. Now, I may as well... I kind of want Anima in the grave, but I also kind of want to thin my deck and have a ritual spell ready. Ooh, what's more important, actually? Because normally we can use... Oh my Lanta. Oh my god. This isn't real. I said I was going to do it live, but I don't want to show these games. I do not want to show these games. I'm going to keep going until I get at least like 2 or 3 games that are actually games. I wonder what my opponents were running. I kind of want to check. I do want to check. I guess people in King of Games just don't have the patience. Which is a bit strange. Maybe it's also that, you know, the KC Cup's going on right now. Maybe we should head over there to get some competitive games, but... I don't know. I don't know. At the very least, I'm talking about plays that I could be making. Okay. Going second. Don't have the Slayer, but I think it could be okay. So, Battle Lord shuts down these Magician Girls. The problem is the 2 back row sets. Okay. Okay. Now, we could do that. Yeah. I think that's good. Let me play Sonic Bird. I'm going to try and play a bit faster so my opponent doesn't surrender. So, I think my plan is evolution this. This will get summoned. That won't quite work, actually. It won't quite work like I hoped it would. Although I could do that, couldn't I? But I would need to send the bird. I think it's fine. At the very least, if he uses back row here, I can get rid of the other back row card. So right now, whoa. No, of course not, because I wasn't, yeah, that's fine. He uses the floodgate. Now what I can do is discard the executor that I want to summon. He's still got some delays. There's all face downs. It could be a cosmic, although I'm not 100%. Now I can summon this. I kind of want to go 7 and 1. No, I have to. I kind of have to do this, don't I? I might just not attack yet. So that was a cosmic, which he couldn't chain. I think I mentioned that earlier. He couldn't chain it since this hits the field. He can't target my cage anymore. To the grave. Maybe you. Now I don't want to swing into this Berry Magician right now. I want to wait till I have a Battle Lord on the field and just turn off all the monster effects. Sets 1. Now this is quick effect. Once per turn during either player's turn. So it's during my turn when I summon it. It's during his turn as well. I want... What I want... I want to get the Anima in the grave. I really do. And for the most part, I think I just need to wait until... I get the Battle Lord out. So, I have another Sonic Bird. I have 2 more Evolution, 2 more Origin. That's 5 cards. It's a 50-50. Knights can help thin the deck for sure. Can definitely help thin the deck. I'm hoping he just thinks he's safe behind this. He definitely does. Gosh, I'm not getting it though. So, again, let's just have a look at the numbers. I have 3 of each, so now I have 2 of each, and 1 Sonic Bird left. So it's 5. There's only 1 card in this deck that is not a ritual spell. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. There's one card that isn't a ritual spell. So he's going to bluff 2. I can take 1 out. We're basically just stalling. There's the origin. I can just force it out before I do anything else. That's how broken Hound Horde is. Activates Windstorm, that's fine. I just baited it out. Now I can make plays. We're bringing this back from the grave. Just send this to the graveyard. Now, what's been properly ritual summoned? This hasn't been. That hasn't been. Nothing? That's unfortunate. Doesn't matter though. I think I missed by selecting the wrong Battlelord to summon. But all we needed to do was wait till we could turn them off and swing. Now that was a very long game, but you know, we were pretty in control. We were pretty in control of that. A lot of people think they are safe, but there's plenty of things that turn off the Magician God's effects, you know. Plenty of our mateys like things. And even if he had like a full field of Magician Girls, I turned off all their effects and I can swing into all of them safely. And with Vendread Knights on the field, I can keep attacking. Let's probably do one more since that was quite a long duel. I'm going second. I kind of did want to verse a Gravekeepers just to highlight how much of a difficult matchup it is. Like, but if you get a monster out that has a Hound Horde effect, you can just keep getting rid of the Echo Valley, and you're pretty set anyway. So what's he got? It's Magician Girls again. Well, I guess if that's what people are running. Is this the same guy? Gonna activate that, so it's not a Cosmic. It's probably a Battle Trap. So what do I want to scoop up? I want to scoop up Slayer. I want to combo Slayer this turn. I summon the Sonic Bird. Activates. Not a Battle Trap. Not a Battle Trap. It's good to know. It's not if it doesn't activate here, it's probably a Floodgate. Alright, so he's got a Floodgate. He's going to wait for the right time to use it. Yeah, I think he knows, to be honest, but I have to force it out anyway. Let me grab you. And let me send... What, do I wait? Do I wait? Because I can do some things next turn. Problem is I'll have to get rid of that as well. So if he knows the matchup, this is when he'll floodgate. Just straight up. Yeah. That's all good. We'll be in a similar situation, right? He has chocolate. This time he has chocolate, so he'll be able to make some more proactive plays. Problem is I've got no defense and he knows that. It's gonna be that annoying. Did I send to summon? I didn't, but I have knights. I have knights to pull the other one. Ooh, interesting. No floodgates. What do I want to grab? My last origin? It's a little bit too risky. Get that off the field. Did I tend to play Wall of D? He's got another floodgate. Tribute. Return all face up level 7. Oh my god. The texts are just specifically for my deck. That's kind of really annoying. That's not a... I could. Oh, I could. What could he special summon right now? Berry? I'm gonna do this. And I'll show you why. Let me... When can I activate my effect? Come on, bro. I'm doing it so I can banish this Battle Lord, so I can special summon it with Anima. In fact, I could kind of go ham here. Well, not totally ham, because I don't want to banish the Anima. Is this... Once per turn, you can banish one zombie type monster from your graveyard. And I only have the Anima, so I shouldn't have done that. That's unfortunate. I shouldn't have banished it. But I have the Battle Lord set up now. And if it does get destroyed by battle, that's fine. I can't be targeted by or destroyed by monster effects, so a quintet wouldn't just outright kill us. Oh, he has magical eyes, doesn't he? He has invocation. Okay, we lose. Well, we had too slow a start, and he has techs to deal with what I assume to be Blackwings, and we just sort of copped it hard as well. Like, he had the floodgate set straight away. He had a major upset, which kept our Battle Lord out of the game. And without it, like with it, and most of the time we'll get it out, it shuts down Magician Girls completely. And we have a way of dealing with Cocytus as well, but the constant back row really hurt. And was it the same guy? It was the same guy. So, a 50-50 there. I kind of want to play one more. We shouldn't have lost that, but we kind of got a raw deal. Of just the exact back row we needed. And it's more just by coincidence that his back row is also relevant in that matchup. This might be a long video. This could be a long video. Alright, so this is good. Going first, okay. So we're not going to go all the way. But going first, what you want is, again, you want to set up a Slayer with an evolution. And we have a way of doing that. Evolution. So this will be our ending board. We'll have plenty of plays next turn. I draw. Oh, come on, Bastion. Okay. Okay, whatever. Looks like he has a bad hand. I'll pull an evolution. And I'll throw... What shall I throw? I'll throw an anima. Because whatever this card is, I can discard to grab a ritual. Even if it's another spell. Knights is also fine. We can discard that to pull whatever monster we want, which I think will probably... We can get out Executor. We can get out 2 Executors. So this is a situation where, you know, opponent literally did nothing, but this is what the deck can do. It's sort of full potential. Not full potential, actually, because best case scenario, you're using your Hound Horde and your Revenants with as material for some of these ritual summons, so it's not full potential, but we can get a full board like this. As long as you set up that Slayer on the first turn. I don't know. I don't think I showed the full potential of the deck, obviously, because there was a lot of just surrenders and things like that. But there was that one game against Magician Girls. I mean, I'm doing this live. No cards. So, it is what it is. And obviously this was just a disconnect before the game even started. So that was the... we had the one win against the deck and then the loss against Moo. I would say it's... In most cases, the matchup is favored. But he is running a Mage Upset, which is kind of an interesting card to deal with the Blackwings, because a lot of the Synchro Summons are level 7. Interesting to think about. Let's go back to the deck. So one thing I forgot to mention, I think, with Vendread Knights, it's a searcher for your Vendread monsters. But when your Vendread monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can banish one Vendread monster from your graveyard, and it can attack an opponent's monster again in a row. So you can only use this if there's something else to attack after you've attacked one of their monsters and destroyed it. So when they have 2 or 3 monsters, this is relevant. It has to be banishing a Vendread monster, not just a zombie type. And it can sort of combo with Slayer when you're banishing to be able to attack again, and you're banishing to get the attack boost with this. The banish can just be a zombie type monster, but this has to be a Vendread monster. So it's pretty costly, but that's what I was trying to do in that one game against the Magician Girls when I ended up losing. I just didn't have enough material in my grave to pull it off. It happens. So that's the Vendread list for November 2019. I really, really, really love Vendreads. I think it's probably my favorite deck at the moment, if not maybe my second favorite. I really do love it. I think it's definitely in my top 5. I almost want to revisit this for next month. I was really enjoying myself with the games, but I do kind of want to keep moving on to new lists and trying different things. But I'll be super happy to revisit this down the road and see if it's still sort of viable in the meta. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and check out the playlist for my Duel Links playlist. It's got a ton of stuff in there, mostly free-to-play deck lists and King of Games deck lists, but it's a lot of fun. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.